Hey folks, this is Connor coming to you with an update on Wolves. The prototype that you saw on the Kickstarter was modeled after a very early prototype that we had. And I knew we wanted to make a lot of changes, but it was sort of difficult to guess what those changes might be until we had a little more hands-on experience with the prototype. This version here that I just got the other day is 99% of the way to what we're going to have in the final version. There's a few minor changes that we're tweaking, but like almost almost unimportant. Anyway, so you might notice that this box is significantly thicker than the previous one. It is about 3 inches thick. This box is much heavier now. There's a lot more cardboard involved. It weighs about 5 pounds. And we're going to go through. I've already completely unboxed this, so you're going to sort of see the normal game state after you've assembled it yourselves and put everything together. So when you open it, you'll have the rule book, and as you see, it's much larger now and has nice big descriptions in it, big imagery, large text, and yeah, I really like this book. This board is also much larger than in the prototype. This accommodates the larger meeples, which I'll show you in a little bit, and makes the text much easier to read. Get a lot more, space on the board with this way. Then we have the player mats. The player mats are a little different from the prototype version. As you can see, we now have the asymmetric ability here listed in larger text. We have a reminder about how many reserves you can hold here. The boards are thicker and flatter. I really like these boards. They don't spin on the table now as much. And yeah, I really like these boards and the way they turned out. They're lovely. So then you go through the boards, and then you're going to have, and here's what I really like. This is my favorite thing about this now. These decks now, these are the player decks, and they are separated now by player color with player color backs. So if you want to play this color, you just pull this deck out, and this is the deck of cards you have. So we changed the backs here. And then as you can see, we changed the leader cards on the face side as well to have a gradient so that they show up when they're when they're laying on your player mat a little easier. We also added icons for the resources up in the top left corner so that when you're holding your cards in your hand, it's a little more easier to see what you're holding at that moment. So when you're ready to play, you just pull out the player mat of your color choice and the deck that goes with it. And then that can go right back into the box as the game progresses and when you're ready to put it away. Then we have the status award tokens, which have not changed any. Those are the same as they were before. We did change the thickness of all of the meeples. So the resources, I don't know if you can see these well, but the resources are significantly thicker now. Additionally, all the meeples are double the thickness. This will help them from tipping over on the board. As you can see, like here now, there's plenty of room, and they're not as likely to tip over, and there's more space for them on the board. These tokens, which were much smaller in the previous iteration, we made them larger so that everybody can see what status rank order you are from far across the table. So when someone is number 1, it's going to be really obvious and you can easily see that. The availability deck is now its own thing rather than pulling and building out the resource deck, or the availability deck rather. Every game, you just have a preset availability deck. And then the knowledge cards. And the knowledge cards haven't changed. I mean, we changed a little bit of the text on some of the knowledge cards, but they are the same as they were before otherwise. So those are all the changes. Oh, and obviously the box insert itself. This one is white as the prototype, but it will be red in the final edition. This little pocket here was originally for another deck of cards. We were thinking about having both the decks here, but instead we're going to make this for the status award tokens. So that part will be cut off so that the tokens don't slide back inside the insert. But yeah, the thing that I love most about this insert, besides having quick access to the player decks, which you'll see are wrapped in paper here, is that when the game is put away, you have the ability to securely keep everything in place. So you drop these all on here, this goes back on top, and with the box lid on, you can now tip this game on its side and the pieces will all stay in place. That was really important to me because of how many components there are. We didn't want everybody to deal with a sea of components all piled up in one corner every time they, move the box around. So those are the changes. I'm really happy with this now, and we're pretty much ready to go. The box will come with biodegradable seals that are along the side here. I have been warned, we're working on this, but I have been warned that these seals, you'll either have to cut them or peel them off and risk tearing the paper. And the other thing I wanted to call out is while this game is entirely FSC certified and is using all as many recycled materials, cardboard, no plastics as we can't get away with it when it comes to things like the coating over the box. There's just not a way we can do that where we don't risk a lot of damages to the box, so it needs to have a certain coating on it. And there are also some glues and adhesives used in here that are petroleum based. So while we've gone FSC certified as far as we can, I do want to call out that there are still some glues and some bare minimums of things that are in board games that unfortunately are going to end up in here, and we've done the best we can though. So that's Wolves. Like I said, 99% of what you see here is what you're going to get in your copy, and it is a chunky game. But after we did some more playthroughs at Big Bad Con, man, we got some great responses, and that was reflected in the fact that we had numerous pre-orders added after Big Bad Con. So I was very happy with everybody's results. We had some fun games there. Okay, thanks, folks. Talk to you soon.